Word to your mother. My name's Steve, this is Frags to Riches, and at the end of today's video I'm going to announce the winners of, or the winner of, my Christmas Day giveaway, which was all of the fragrances from my fragrance advent calendar, or FRAG30 calendar. So stay tuned for that and I'll announce that at the end. Today's video is going to be a comparison video between Bleu De Chanel's Parfum and Bleu De Chanel's EDP. So what am I doing? Why am I comparing these things? You might be asking yourself, and it's not just for the likes and the clicks, okay? I promise.
Bullshit.
So I'm going to tell you a little quick story as to how I've got to this point and why I'm reviewing Bleu De Chanel on the channel that I sort of promote as affordable fragrances. So recently I bought Mercedes-Benz Cologne, which is a great summer fragrance. Check out the video, highly recommend it. Within that package that I received a sample of Bleu De Chanel Parfum, okay? Now, with Bleu De Chanel, I've always liked it. I thought it was perfectly pleasant, but it's never really excited me. I've always found the opening a little bit too harsh for me, okay? So, but I did enjoy the dry down more, and I've always thought it was perfectly pleasant. So earlier this year, just to scratch that itch, I bought a Marf Shades Blue, which is actually a really good clone of Bleu De Chanel EDT. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of it in just a few months, and that sort of satisfied me. Again, I always found the opening a little bit harsh and I don't enjoy it. It's much more the dry down, so for that it takes a good 20 minutes and then I start enjoying it. I don't know what it is. I think to my nose, that grapefruit in the opening just comes across as a bit metallic and I just don't really enjoy it. But once it settles down more, then I much prefer the sort of woodier, incensed, dried down, basically. So I've never really been too excited about the later releases of Bleu De Chanel. I've smelt the EDP in the shop and I sort of quite liked it. But yeah, I received this in a package. One night I wore it out to the pub, to the bar. I got some on my scarf because it was quite a cold day and I wrapped up, and then for several days I kept smelling it on my scarf and I kept really enjoying it, and I just thought, I need this in my life. I then looked online and the Parfum version is so expensive. For 100 ml, which is better value than the 50 ml, it's about £105, which is just silly, even with kind of all the deals in the world. So doing lots of reviews and reading and remembering what the EDP smelt like, I took a punt on the EDP because by all accounts it's got better performance, which I'll talk about in a mo, and it smells very similar, which I'll also talk about, obviously, hence the comparison. So that's what I did, and so then when it arrived, for myself, I did a comparison to check that I was happy with my purchase, getting the EDP over the Parfum, and I did a side-by-side, so I thought I'd share the thoughts with you today. Okay, now, you know me, and I know me, I'm a bargain hunter, so I have to get a good deal, even if it's an expensive designer, okay? So, this usually retails for about £90 for 100 ml. I wanted to go for the 100 ml because it's better value. I found this on, I think it was Fragrance Shop, for £91.50, okay, for the standard 100 ml bottle. They were doing the gift wrapped version for £90, and it just comes in a posh Chanel box. So I opted for that, saved myself £1.50. It's a little gift to myself. I deserve it, why not? That's not enough, obviously. So I then shopped around and managed to find a 20% off voucher. So that dropped the £90 down to £72. Still not enough for me, as you know. So I used my top cashback account and I got cashback on the purchase of 8%. So that dropped the £72 down to £66.24, if my notes and my maths are correct. So that's pretty good, £66 basically for 100 ml of Bleu De Chanel. That's certainly more what I'm talking about. I, again, wanted to maximise it even more so. So within my top cashback account, I'd earned some cashback from other purchases, from fragrances, from Christmas shopping, etc, etc. So I had £13.72 in my cashback account. I transferred that, I took that out, put it into my PayPal account. So that's £13.72, which is free money, don't forget. So I'm counting that as essentially reducing the price. That reduced the price down to £52.52. Again, if I'm reading my notes correctly and my maths is right. So £52 for 100ml of Bleu De Chanel, that's what I'm talking about. Now I did go a little bit further, but it doesn't count as free money because I'd already sold a fragrance online on eBay. So I had £22.98 in my PayPal account. So I used that as well. So that's not free money, so it doesn't really count as a discount, but I used it anyway. So it did reduce the amount that I was paying out of my account down to like £29.54. So that is what I paid out of my account. But as I say, realistically, that last bit doesn't count as free money. So this cost me £52 of my hard-earned money. So that's good. That sort of makes it affordable. So I was pleased with that. So as I say, once it arrived, I wanted to do a comparison for my own satisfaction, and I thought I'd share it with you. The thing is, comparing Bleu De Chanel EDP and the Parfum, it's like comparing testicles, you know? Ultimately, nobody cares unless there's a significant difference. Also, we don't want them to be talky, and on me, both of them are beautiful. So, kind of why bother, but I thought, I was doing it for myself anyway because I bought the EDP and I literally did a side-by-side comparison for a day for my satisfaction. So I thought I would just share my thoughts. So I've sprayed them on my hand before the video started. And when people say the opening, there's no difference, to me that's lies. You can tell the difference. It's not dramatic. Like I say, it's like comparing testicles. It's not dramatic, but you can tell a difference. Okay, so in the opening, I still prefer the Parfum. When you first spray it, to me, the Parfum is richer, it's smoother, and it's just more enjoyable. The EDP still has, even though it's smoother than the EDT, it's still relatively harsh compared to the Parfum anyway. And you can still get that metallic note to me, which I think is the grapefruit. So that is still a little bit metallic to me on the opening. So it's smoother than the EDT and I much prefer it. But comparing the two on opening, the EDP is fresher. So people say it's more of a day scent and I can relate to that. The Parfum is darker, it's smoother and it's richer, and you can smell it on the opening to me. So initially when I did that, I was thinking, damn, I should have got the Parfum, damn it. But wear it for the day, and once it dries down, the good news is I prefer the EDP on the dry down. When it dries down, it becomes, the Parfum becomes a little bit darker still, because the incense is stronger. And don't get me wrong, they're both really nice on the dry down. I'm quite happy to wear both. But the Parfum, again, probably more for the evening. It becomes a bit darker and a bit richer on the dry down. Where the EDP, it's that metallic note that I dislike at the start dies down. And on the dry down, you just get this, it just becomes richer than the EDT. And it's really nice and smooth. But it's still it's fresher than the Parfum, and it's just a little bit fresher and a bit more enjoyable, and I just much prefer the smoothness of the woody notes and the incense on the EDP. So that's where I'm at. I just thought I would share this with you. So by all means, go and do a side by side, let me know what you think. But just to summarise, I think the EDP, the Parfum is nicer in the opening, it's richer, smoother straight away. But then on the dry down, it becomes darker still, and the incense is a bit stronger, and I prefer the EDP because that settles down, it just feels smoother and a bit more balanced and much more suitable for daytime. I wore this to work, and first day in the office, I went in and I got a compliment on it, somebody asking me what I was wearing, and I really enjoyed it. And I've got to say, the EDP performs on my skin really well. Really well. I'm really pleased with it. I got 3 to 4 hours of, I mean, I did go quite heavy, I'm not going to lie, but I got 3 to 4 hours of projection on this. First couple of hours were really strong, and then quite good projection for another hour or two. and then it still lasted further. I smelt it at the end of the day when I got home, so it lasted well over 6 hours for me, which is basically all I want in a fragrance. So in reality, it was lasting like probably seven or 8 hours, but as long as it kind of goes over 6 or 7 hours for me, I'm happy. And to be honest, this is so nice. I'm happy to reapply and take a travel atomizer. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with this. If you can get a deal on it, give it a go. A lot of people say, you know, it's generic, etc. And it is safe, it is generic, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy wearing it, and I much prefer it to the EDT. That's me. Everyone's different, and that's the brilliant thing about fragrances. It's a matter of opinion, and opinions are like arseholes. We've all got one. So tell me yours. What do you think? Let me know. Right, winners. Who won the fragrance advent calendar? So you've got all of these lovely fragrances I mean, this is just a little segment of them. There's 24 in total, and it includes a fairly decent copy of Le Male by Jean-Paul Gaultier, to be honest. This actually is fairly decent, so this is kind of worth it in itself. Thank you for everybody that entered. It wasn't loads of people didn't enter, probably because you saw my videos and I weren't always impressed with them, but you've got loads of travel atomizers, so you can use them up, and I was tempted to keep them for the atomizers, to be honest. So I'm pleased to announce that the winner is Darren Hall. So thank you, mate. Thank you for participating. Thank you for commenting. I think you originally found my channel from Fragmental, and then you commented in the video, and you were randomly selected. I use a comment picker. So thank you. I'll post some details below, but what we just need to do, I can't send a message through YouTube, so if you can go over to my Instagram page, ping me a message on my Instagram account with your address, and then what I'll do, just to make sure that it is you, I'll give you some sort of random code, and then if you could come back onto this video using the same YouTube account that you commented on originally, and just comment with that code, just so I know it's definitely you and it's your address and things like that. So, you know, not that anybody's going to go out of their way to steal these, I wouldn't have thought. But so that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hopefully 2019 is going to be a big year. This wasn't originally going to be my 100 subscriber giveaway, but it sort of fell quite nicely on Christmas Day and things. So I'm already on my journey to 200 subscribers. So when I get to 200, I'll do a giveaway there. So do please like, subscribe, and keep sharing. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Much love.